always make sure the equipment is well maintained.
Whoa. Oh. Ah.
Absolutely, and that's what we're talking about today. If you'll notice the title, we're talking about autodidactic, learning through yourself without a teacher. How do you do that? First-hand experience. You do your research, and then you follow up on that research to confirm what you researched by doing first-hand actions. So do not believe me. Do not believe the neighbor. Do not believe the government. For crying out loud, do not believe your mother. Don't let other people keep convincing you that they can do it for you, that the paperwork will work for you. You have to do the work. That's both the research and the follow-up actions. So thank you for joining. I'm Keith, and I hope everybody's having a good day, enjoying life, living life, and loving life. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. There's a PayPal link down there for anybody who wants to share some love. And of course, the StreamYard link is not up to date because I'm going to go through this. And what I'm talking about with that first-hand experience, and this isn't the first time I've discussed this. I've discussed it in regards to the various people in the agencies of the medical association here locally trying to gather together and deny my companion services. And so I asked of them a true bill in which they sent me a notification with all kinds of numbers on them. Some of them had minuses, others didn't. Not anywhere was there a dollar sign. And I just simply wrote a nice little notice back, acceptance for zero value, because on the face of the true bill you sent me, there is an incomprehensible equation that no one can figure out, as there is no, what did I say? There is no distinction of what species is being required in any sort of currency, money, commodity, exchange, or otherwise. And that's been 3 years ago. She still goes to her appointments. They still try to send her bills, despite the fact that Health and Human Services, a state recovery program, particularly for people that are disabled and retired and are no longer obligated or liable to put any kind of liability on the public records, is payable on death. So why are they trying to require it from her today while she's still alive? These are various different points that I've done through firsthand experience with my companion situation to show her. And she lives with me. She knows me. I live with her. We've lived together for 15 years. And it's hard enough for me to convince her through my firsthand experience dealing with her situations. So today we got confirmation again in another one of her situations where I've mentioned before the banker's life insurance. Now, I don't know if I actually posted anything on it, but I do have the writings and everything that I wrote, and we're going to go over one of them to show you the initiation. And I'll tell you the firsthand experience was banker's life insurance. And she has a life insurance policy for $10,000 that she got in 2017. November of 2017, she took up this insurance policy with a monthly premium of $43.33 per month. Now, I've explained this in regards to taxes and insurances as being prepaid. And what it is, you've got a $43.33 premium for that month for a $10,000 life insurance policy. Now, what's that saying is that you purchased $10,000 in equity if this person shall pass away and become decedent, wherein that policy will pay out the $10,000 in equity. Okay? So at the end of the month, that person doesn't die, the benefit carries over at $10,000, but the payment doesn't roll over, which it should. You've already purchased $10,000 in equity for a life insurance policy that's supposed to last a number of years. In that life insurance policy, that's a contract. if you comprehend it. And what they do is they have you signing and using that Social Security number, of course, in a blank sense. And what they can do is then turn around and use that equity to make purchases in your name. I've explained this many times, and now I have definitive documentation that's going to prove it. And we're going to do some mathematics with it as well, because that $43.33, like I said, I went in to make a payment in cash, and they refused tender under the UCC. What happens to that life insurance policy? The life insurance policy has already been bought and paid for. They can't deny it. It does not terminate until that policy is supposed to terminate, regardless of whether you keep making those monthly payments or not. Because again, at the initiation of that contract, you purchased $10,000 in equity for $43.33. People have a hard time comprehending this concept. So let's look at a document that I wrote up for them from the private side as my companion's trustee. Oops, wrong one. Where am I at? What do I got to do here? There we go. Okay. So when I went in late November to make the payment, and they refused tender because I paid in cash, I then turned around and wrote them a letter. Bankers Life, attention, Policy Administration. P.O. Box 1938, Carmel, Indiana, not Iowa. December 4th, telling you it's an international organization. It is an international insurance. Each state is, in fact, its own country, its own nation, in solidarity with a centralized, supposed system known as the United States government. To whom it may concern, on December 4th, 2024, at approximately 3:15 p.m. CST, Keith Little visited the Bankers Life office in Waterloo, Iowa. I guess it was the day I did. Yeah, this is the day I went in. To pay the life insurance premium for Joyce Schmidt. Keith brought Federal Reserve notes, cash, to fulfill this obligation. However, the local agent refused to accept the payment and stated it was illegal for Bankers Life to accept cash. Oops. Federal Reserve notes are explicitly recognized as legal tender for all debts, public and private, under 18 U.S.C. 8, as well as on the face of the note, and their use is further protected under the Uniform Commercial Code. UCC 3-311, accord and satisfaction by use of instrument. The Federal Reserve notes under 18 U.S.C. 8 are an obligation or other security of the United States. Therefore, they are instrumentalized by the government. They are government instrumentalities. UCC 3-306 claims to an instrument include discharge upon refusal of tender. By refusing payment in lawful currency, Bankers Life has violated these legal principles. Now, what they're doing, folks, is they're demanding that they're saying that it's illegal for me to make legal tender payment offer in Federal Reserve notes, and that's not so. But what they're doing in the background is they're getting everybody to use a foreign currency known as an international currency, known as checks and money orders. Those are, in fact, international currency types. Notice when you look up 18 U.S.C. 8, they will not be included in there. They do not include checks and money orders, except for the phrase, other representatives of value, stamps and other representatives of value. That's because that's where the international level comes in, and it's very ambiguous there. This is why it's important to understand English, learn how English works and comprehend it. Consequently, we are asserting a claim of discharge for the premium obligation based on Keith's tender of legal payment. The agent's assertion that accepting Federal Reserve notes is illegal is factually incorrect and legally indefensible. We hereby serve notice of a lawful claim on the original security instrument, and this is legally indefensible, not because they're Federal Reserve notes, and not because they're telling us we have to use foreign currency known as checks or money orders, but the fact that I would present, again, that the premium was already paid and there was $10,000 in equity sitting there. We hereby serve notice of a lawful claim on the original security instrument, the application for life insurance, including policy number, until this matter is appropriately resolved in accordance with law. We will hold premiums in escrow. This was only to supplant in their mind that, okay, well, at least he's following the law. Again, we will hold premiums in escrow. But again, that premium that was already paid, we will hold $43.33. We will never spend under any accounts or all of our accounts so that we have less than $43.33, of which we could then rebarter, reapply, because they cannot disqualify us simply because we didn't pay. This will also be proven, again, because once you make that $43.33 premium, you are purchasing equity. What is the amount of the equity? $10,000. What is the term where that equity is held in escrow itself? Moving forward, we will continue to offer cash as payment in line with the premium schedule. Again, like I said, we'll hold that $43.33 a month back. $124.40 that I mentioned before was quarterly premium, which when you break it down is $43.33 a month. Like I said, we'll do the math. This refusal to accept payment creates significant hardship for Joyce Schmidt, who suffers from dementia and relies on timely resolution of her obligations, which she no longer has obligations. She already made the purchase for $43.33 and was given $10,000 in life insurance equity as a benefit payout if she dies during that month. Now, if she didn't receive the benefit, the $43.33 is supposed to roll over. They're not supposed to come back and collect it again. Banker's Life is legally obligated to ensure the beneficial use and enjoyment of her policy without undue interference. If this matter is not resolved in 14 days, we will initiate legal action, including a forensic securities audit, to address the potential misfeasance and pursue compensatory relief. For prompt resolution, please contact Keith Little at the phone number. They didn't do that. That's fine, though, because what they did do is send information. And like I said, folks, there's not often that I will send things back decedent, return to sender, whatever. Most times, now that I understand how this works, I will open it, look at it, read it, and keep it as evidence. Reverently, Chaplain Keith. Be blessed. Benefactor, Joyce Schmidt. So, that was the initiation because they refused my legal tender firsthand at arm's length, professing that it was illegal for them to do so. Imagine that. Are they the ones using 12 U.S.C. 411, where they know they're not Federal Reserve agents and they're not supposed to be using those and passing those? Are they themselves a foreign corporation operating on an international level, demanding international currency as a foreign currency, domestic to their international venue, known as checks and money orders? Okay? These are securities issues. So when we think about these securities issues, like I said, we want a forensic securities audit if they don't comply with the law. So I did not hear back. So I wrote him a second letter. We're not going to go over that. It's just reiterating the first letter. And then on January 2nd, we got a letter back, and I'll show you, just so you guys know I've got it in hand. Show you what I'm reading from Banker's Life. Okay. That's one letter. That was on January 2nd. Then there's a second letter on January 6th, just 4 days later. It's 2 pages. And I'll read these, but I don't have them photoed or retyped or anything. And then we received one from March 6th. We didn't receive this until today, but this is the one that's going to disclose everything that I've been telling you. Okay, so let's read the one from January 2nd. And it says, insured, Joyce Schmidt, policy number. It's got the policy number. It says, Dear Joyce Schmidt, thank you for choosing Banker's Life. We are proud to help our customers protect their financial security and prepare for retirement. In response to your request, we would like to provide you with the following information. Premium paid to date, December 30th, 2024. The last payment received was in the amount of $124.40 and was applied as a premium towards the policy. Remember, the security instrument we're claiming is the application. That's what was securitized when we paid the $43.33. Now they're taking the $43.33 every month under a different contract known as an installment contract and hypothecating your money as pledged to them. They're taking that money as an asset, that foreign currency, that money or check order, or a check or money order, and they're taking that as their asset now. Now they're pooling that with all those other customers on whatever basis, daily, weekly, collectively as a group in Iowa or each state or whatever, or each district area, whatever, however they zone it out, they pool them and invest them in their name. This is called hypothecation of a customer security, where they pool your securities together, bundle them all together, and then rename it in their name and pledge it as their security. We're here to help. If you have any questions, please contact us at 800-621-3724. Listen, I gave you, in grammatical etiquette, a way to contact me directly so we could deal with this. And I gave you the most expedient way to do that was a telephone number. You denied the telephone number. Now you want to tell me I can call you back. See the idiocy, folks? You need to pay attention to every detail. And then it says, sincerely, customer service. For local service, contact. And then it tells me to go back down to the office where they refuse my tender. I no longer deal with them. No, we're dealing with the policy administration now. Don't tell me to go back to them. I'm dealing with you now. And you even gave me a letter, or my companion a letter, saying that she could call you. Well, I'm the one that's communicating, not her. Okay? Make that clear first and foremost. So the second letter, January 6th. Now I want everybody to pay attention to something here. This one here, it's got the address. It says administrative office. And then you see the name. It's in upper and lowercase, as well as the address and everything. And anybody wants to feel brave enough to come to the doorstep, feel free. We live under the Lord's word, and this is our temple. We feel very faithful, hopeful, and charitable and protected. So when it comes to doxing, what's it worth to you? We have nothing. What are you going to take? We ain't got nothing. Okay? You would have to technically go through these kind of people to receive what we actually have. Everything we have is a cup that welleth over as a benefit. It's not taxable. It's a gift. Notice it's all uppercase. Now I notice it says reference, Bankers Life and Casualty Company. It goes into the policy number and everything, right? And this one comes from the Consumer Relations Department. Okay? So let's read this one. It says, and just so you know, in December, we got what's known as a grace notice. Okay? Telling us they were giving us grace for something. Ha 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 ha. This letter, dear Miss Schmidt, not Joyce Schmidt. Now it's dear Miss Schmidt. Remember, this is about how you address people. This is diplomacy, where you learn the etiquette in how to address someone. Do you address them as ma'am or Mrs. or Miss? See, they don't know that she's married under common law, so they're using a legal entity address and addressing her as Miss. Not Mrs. Miss. MS. Period. This letter is in confirmation and reply to correspondence from Keith Little received in our offices. Really? You received it in the Consumer Relations Office? Consumer Relations Department? So that means when I send it to the Policy Administration, they forward it to you. Okay? So this is an internal letter in response to a notification internally from the Policy Administration. That's why it was the one was received January 2nd, and then this one was received January 6th. This letter is in confirmation and reply to correspondence from Keith Little received in our offices on December 17, 2024, regarding the above referenced policy. Thank you for the opportunity to respond. In his correspondence, Mr. Little, see, they don't know how to address me. I am not Mr. Little. Stated that he attempted to pay the premium for this policy in cash at our local branch office, but it was not accepted. Based on our review, we insure you under a whole life insurance policy issued effective November 30th, 2017. This policy contains a death benefit of $10,000 and a monthly bank draft premium of $43.33. And that's where their language is wrong, because it's not. The policy is not what we're talking about. Again, It's the application that was secured. And in that application, they are inferring that she entered into a second contract to pay monthly installments, which would be unconscionable because she already purchased the $10,000 in equity, and that $43.33 premium payment is supposed to roll over the next month if she doesn't die and the benefit is not paid out. It's called unjust enrichment. On August 8th, 2024, you requested that Bankers Life stop drafting the monthly payment premium or monthly premium from your bank account. We sent written confirmation to you on August 8th, 2024, that we had removed the policy from automatic bank draft and placed it on direct billing with a quarterly premium of $124.40, and confirmed the policy was paid to September 30th, 2024 at that time. Now, this is the part where I tried to convince my companion to pay in cash. She wouldn't, because they down there told her it was illegal to accept cash and that she had to pay in check or money order. That's the indoctrination. That's why I push the bounds. I'm the one that's willing to push the bounds through firsthand experience because of my research that says otherwise. So pay attention, folks. A premium notice was then mailed to you on September 11th, 2024 for the 2-month premium in the amount of $83.39 coming due on September 30th. An additional notice was mailed to you on November 11th since the premium was not received. And we mailed a grace notice to you on January 1st, 2025. Really? I've got a grace notice here. For that, and it says due date 11/30/2024. Why would you spend over a month to send a grace notice? Okay, that's my question. This is why we have to understand the underlying situation of how these investments work. Since the premium was not mailed, or premium was not received, we mailed a grace notice to you on January 1st, 2025, indicating your policy had entered the grace period and payment must be received within 31 days or the policy will terminate. Or the policy will terminate. I'm going to show you this language on the letter. Right there. Or the policy will terminate. Period. There's nothing else after that. Okay? Pay attention to the English language and the tricks they try to play on you. Does it matter? Looks like Hitler after the fall of Germany. Thanks. I wear this as a constant reminder of this very situation where you yourself have become indoctrinated as a bitch-ass slave, a fucking fool, something that I do not deny having been myself. You yourself are acting like Hitler's willing executioners, going around blindly following idiots and doing what they tell you you have to do. Pay attention. Upon further review, we determined that we previously received a payment on October 18th, 2024, in the amount of $124.40 that was not applied. That was that money order that my companion went down to the post office and got that they demanded and then didn't apply it. I seriously question the competence and ethics of these idiots. We apologize for this oversight and for any concern it may have caused. So now they're placating that this oversight is the reason for our communication and are not addressing the UCC discharge upon tender of upon legal tender of payment. See, they're trying to avoid that whole issue here. This payment has been applied, and your policy is now paid to December 30th, 2024. December 30th, January 30th, February 28th, and now we're in the middle of March. 2.5 months, and now we haven't seen, what they send us January 1st, when it's just a little over a month old, was a grace notice. We haven't received a grace notice. We haven't received another grace notice. Isn't that the general policy, to send out a grace notice? Why aren't they following their policy now? Is it because of certain notices they've received? So, please note that premiums may, now it says may, it doesn't say must. Please note that premiums may be paid by monthly automatic bank draft from a checking or savings account, or by check or money order. We do not accept cash. No, that's your policy, which I've already addressed, and you are not addressing it according to the UCC, international law, international bills of exchange, where you're giving me a bill and won't accept a bill in exchange. Miss Schmidt, we appreciate Mr. Little taking the time to make us aware of these concerns, and we want to assure you of our commitment. Again, I made no notification of a concern about them not ledgering $124.40 for the October payment, because I wasn't aware of it. I had assumed that as I had instructed my companion had stopped the bank drafts and had gone down and paid them a check or money order for $124.40, she confirmed that, so I assumed it was ledgered. I didn't know about it. That is not the issue I addressed. And all they have to say is, we do not accept cash as a policy, and your guy down here is going to tell me, well, it's illegal. No, you are an idiot. You don't understand English. And we want to assure you of our commitment to providing our customers with the best possible service. If you have any additional questions, please contact our customer service department at a phone number. So now they've given us 2 phone numbers, but won't call me back, even though I gave them my phone number. They insist on communicating with my companion about a debt, and they don't have authorization to do so, claiming that she owes a monthly debt on an unconscionable contract and refusing to acknowledge my notices in the private. So, as I explained to my companion, we just stopped paying the premium, and the contract continues on because, like I said before, taxes and the insurance are things that are prepaid. And when it comes to the term of the contract that sets out, it doesn't expire until November of 2034. That's what the application was for. In that application, like I said, they're the ones misinterpreting the language and assuming that they can then charge her every month for a monthly premium. If that's so, every month that she paid that monthly premium, it tacks on another $10,000 to that life insurance policy. So the next month, she started a new insurance policy for $10,000 in equity, and now she has $20,000 in equity for $86.66. Greetings, everybody. I want to welcome everybody. Yes, installments. That's the delivery. You've been installed into a livery as a fucking animal, and they let you out whenever you show that ID. Sure, here you go. And a lot of times, if you show them that ID at the right time, they'll put you right back in that stall. So let's take a look at the last letter we just got today, March 13th, and it shows a date, March 6th. And again, it comes from the administrative office this time with Joyce A. Schmidt, policy number. We are writing to inform you of a change to your policy since the premium due of $124.40 was not received within the 31-day grace period. See, they're talking about the first grace period, right? Wherein they admitted that now it goes until December 30th. And they should have issued another grace period after a month, and they didn't. So they're still acting on a grace period where they admit they received payment. You selected extended term insurance on your non-forfeiture option. Non-forfeiture means you do not forfeit regardless. You accept the benefit pursuant to the law, and you do not let anybody force you to forfeit. This is, you do not waive one right to enforce another. Therefore, the remaining value of $1,189.82 in your policy has been used to purchase temporary term insurance. They used, she didn't. They used, she didn't. They're telling her they used the $1,189.82 in her policy has been used by them to purchase temporary term insurance. The current death benefit of your policy is $10,000. And remember that thread about the policy terminating? Pay attention, folks. Evidence that says, and the coverage will terminate on May 26th, 2034. The policy will terminate May 26th, 2034. That's when the policy terminates, and she still has $10,000 in equity. That is non-forfeiture. Telling you guys, don't believe me. Don't believe the neighbor. Don't believe the government. For crying out loud, don't believe your mother. Do your research. Follow it up with first-hand experience to show that you know what you're talking about. Push those boundaries. Push those issues. Learn the language. Read it. Learn how to read. So in one letter, they make a simple statement where everybody gets all up in their feelers and afraid. Oh my God, they're going to terminate my policy. You should have seen my companion. She's been worrying for months that they're going to deny her payment. I'm telling you, It's prepaid according to the way the law is written. You make an insurance or tax prepayment for the term of the contract. The term of this particular contract seems to terminate on May 26th, 2034. Undeniable, and it is indefensible in their own words. Why would I fight it? Why are you fighting it? And that's something I don't have to deal with the Treasury for, or the IRS, or the Social Security. I don't have to worry about none of that. If I wanted to push the issue, I can do the forensic securities on it. And like I said, those 84 months that she already paid would mean that she's got $840,000 of life insurance benefits upon her passing away. I have 7 years to do that. Actually, there is no time constraint on it if it's a securities fraud. Of course, I can't call it securities fraud, but I can also go to the record and its integrity, which it must uphold. So if there's errors found and people were compensated when they weren't, and others that didn't get compensated and are not made whole, that's not in good faith. I'm telling you, folks, have faith in yourself. That's where it truly comes from. And if you don't give it to the government, it's why you live in fear. You have to give that faith to the government. The only way you're going to do that is learning how it works and stop fighting it and work with it. I don't need to go to courts to work with this stuff. I can present the securities audit through the SEC, not an administrative court. That's not where this is ever going to go. You have to learn a new way. You have to learn new means. And the only way you're going to do that is by doing your research and pushing those bounds so you can get off your ass and start doing this stuff yourself. Quit depending on somebody else to do the paperwork for you. Learn the language so you can write it. You have to learn it so you can read it and then write it so it's comprehensible for somebody else. Yes. Doctrine of ultravires. Got to go grill my yard bird. There you go. Happy barbecue. Happy barbecue. And with that, folks, we come to the end. If you need to take any notes, go back and rewind, slow it down, whatever. I know I might have gone through some of this fast, but that's why I did it in video. And like I said, I'll be doing another one on this, showing the writing itself, whether I got to retype this stuff or take pics, whatever. This is first-hand experience. You're not going to get anywhere but from yourself. Again, so do not believe me. This will not work for you. You have to learn how to write this stuff up yourself. I can't give you this and have it work for you. You have different events happening in your life. You'll have to learn how to use these words against them because they're the ones that aren't understanding it and how it's supposed to work. So think about that stuff and remember, folks, I love you, but I don't give a rat's ass whether you love me back or not. That's to say, I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you don't respect me. And that part's on you. And remember, sometimes...
Always make sure the equipment is well maintained.
Whoa. Oh.
And if you're going to keep this maintained so it can think right, you have to do your own learning. You feed a man a fish if you give him a fish for a day. But if you teach that man to fish, he feeds himself for a lifetime. But you don't need that teacher. You can do this on your own. But the most imperative thing about that is you have to understand this public education system indoctrinated you into remembering this, just like all the other idiots. I was an idiot. I was a fucking fool. I was a bitch-ass slave. I used to have the mentality of Hitler's willing executioners, and it's time to stop. You guys know me. I love you, but I don't give a rat's ass whether you love me back. That's to say, I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you don't respect me. That's on you. So may God bless you and have a great day. You know what? I'll be damned. I'll be damned, folks. I told you I was going to do some math for you. So I'm glad you hung out. Let's do the math real quick. Just to show you the obverse of this income thing when it comes to people talking about how I'm living off of my life or living my life off of my companion and what this is worth, okay? So let's do some math on this real quick just to show you. In the 84 months that she did pay that premium, which would have meant that at a premium of $43.33, each month she was adding another $10,000 onto that life insurance policy. This is what I'm talking about. It would have been $840,000 life insurance policy by now. So if we correct that record as to its integrity, that's what it should show. And that would be the only reason I would do a forensic securities audit, not as a matter of fraud, but as a matter of correcting the record. So we take 84 months, because that's what it would have been November 30th, 2017 until October, would have been 84 months. 84 months times $43.33 equals $3,639.72 that this woman has spent so far to date on that life insurance policy. Okay? That's what $840,000 in life insurance policy should cost. Okay? So of that, let's go to the next one. They said $1,189.82. So let's plug that in, $1,089.82. That's how much was used in her policy. That's what was in her policy, they said. How they come up with that amount, I don't know. Again, that would be part of the forensic securities auditing. But according to that amount, that was used to buy a temporary term insurance. And that temporary term insurance, according to her non-forfeiture position, they used that money to purchase an insurance to cover that policy. Okay? Now, if she was going to continue to pay the $43.33 a month through the termination date, that would be another 9 years. What's 108 months? So we take $43.33 times 108 months, if she were to continue paying that, would come out to $4,679.64. She's not going to pay another dime. So already I've saved her $4,679.64 just by helping her learn how to do this and understand how this works. If I'd have been able to convince her 7 years ago when she made that first premium payment, she'd still today have $10,000 life insurance policy, and that $43.33 payment would just keep rolling over. Or it would be stacking up $10,000 every time she made that monthly premium. Okay? So what did I save her? And again, like I said, if we go back and do that forensic securities audit, not only did I save her $7,000, $8,000, or $4,000 according to this, $4,679.64. But now we get to go back and reclaim that $3,600 and some odd dollars that she did pay into it. That would provide for 84 premium payments. That would include $840,000. Now, not only did I save her $4,700, but I acquired what she wasn't made whole in by all those premium payments. And now it's not just $10,000; it's $850,000. So where'd that $840,000 come from? Suckers, you want to keep chasing the bag, keep chasing the bag. It's in the math. Learn the math and learn how to read. And again, folks, you know me. I love you. But I don't give a rat's ass whether you love me back. That's to say, I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you don't respect me. That's on you. So may God bless you. And have a good day. We're going to play that outro one more time. Remember, folks, hit that like, share, and subscribe. And there is a PayPal button down there for anybody who does want to share some love. But hey, I also accept goods and products through the mail too. So maybe contact me, see how to get that physical address, and learn how to write an international address without a legal name. Be blessed.
Always make sure the equipment is well maintained.
Whoa. Oh.